Hello guys, this is the 90s Kid Show coming via the Review Space channel. This entire WrestleMania, you could say, fever, the whole thing building up to it, the whole Daniel Bryan thing, very exciting stuff, and even the Undertaker streak ending, that was very interesting. But this is really, I think, the very last time that I will end up watching wrestling, because it really made me feel old. It really made me feel so fucking old when it comes to my age and realizing this product that's been around for many decades that I enjoyed as a kid. It made me feel old as hell. What am I talking about? I'm not talking about the Undertaker streak ending. I was watching Raw, alright? The post-Mania one from last week. And they finally debuted the female NXT Women's Champion, Paige. Alright? Paige comes in, as pale as ever. And I believe she's from the UK. She's got a nice accent, it's cool. And she challenges AJ and becomes the new Divas Champion. So she becomes the new Divas Champion, and I just sat there. I just sat there and I realized, holy shit. For the very first time ever in my life, a current member of the WWE roster, a current wrestler in the WWE, is a champion and is younger than me. That's the very first time that's happened. I recently turned 27 years old. Actually, it was just yesterday. I definitely feel 27. It feels old. It's not a celebration. It's not exciting. Because now I'm literally like in my mid-late 20s. Closer to late 20s, really. 27. Jesus. But anyway, Paige, this young woman, this young lady, and I can call her that. I can technically be like the senior here and be a guy, oh, this young lady, young kid, look at you. She's only 21. She was born in 1992. I was born in 87. And for the first time, a current member of the WWE roster, a current champion in the WWE, is younger than me. Made me feel so fucking old. And just to put it into perspective, there's been young champions in the past, and for example, the previous champion of the Divas division, AJ Lee, AJ, she was born in March 1987, so she's actually my age, around my age, but I'm still technically a little under a month younger than her, so she's technically still older than me, although we're actually in the same, born in the same year, around the same, within a month from each other, so it's like we would have been in the same grade in high school. And then you have the other champ, you got Caitlyn, another previous Divas champion. She was born in 1986. Could have gone to high school with her, in terms of the age. Big E Langston, well, he's now Big E. He was born in 1986, another one. Intercontinental champion, Seth Rollins, member of the Shield, born in 86. Former tag team champion, right? His partner Roman Reigns was born in 1985. Former tag champion. Cody Rhodes, another one from 85. Former IC champion, tag champion. You got the Usos, the current tag team champion. They're born in 1985. Dean Ambrose, the US champion, never defends it. He was born in 85. All these guys, all these men and women are around my age. They're born in like the 85, 86 range, and I would have gone to high school with these people. It's crazy. But I'm still technically younger than them. It's wild. Daniel Bryan, the current WWE World Champion, was born in 1981. Randy Orton, former WWE World Champion, the ex-champion, lost it at Mania, born in 1980. So you can see the ages getting older and older. I think it may take a while for somebody younger than me to win the WWE Championship, but it still makes me feel old that somebody, an actual champion in the WWE right now, the Divas champion, is years younger than me, right? It just makes me feel so fucking old. It's so bizarre. The reason I bring all of this up, the reason I talk about this, I always felt like a kid at heart when watching pro wrestling. I always felt and saw these wrestlers, these performers on TV as older than me, because for 27 years they were. They were older people. They were larger than life. They existed in a world of, they were much older, more experienced, just grown men and women doing their thing. And I was just that kid watching them, a little kid. You know, it takes me back. I mean, when I was a kid in the 90s, the champions of my time, when I was growing up and watching WWE or WCW, I mean, you had guys like Bret Hart. He was born in 57. Now he's 56 years old. Bret Hart's one of my favorites back in the day. Sting of WCW, he was born in 1959. He's now 55 years old. You got guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, the most important wrestler of the Attitude Era. He's now 49 years old. You know, he's born in 1964. Undertaker, born in 65. Shawn Michaels, 65 again. Goldberg, born in 1966. He's now 47. Yokozuna, rest in peace. He was born in 1966. And at the time, you know, he became the youngest WWE champion when he won it the first time in 93. He was only 26 years old, 6 months, and 2 days. He was technically younger than The Rock when he became WWE champ for the first time. And I know the WWE, they like to play that up, especially back in the late 90s, that The Rock is the youngest WWE champion at the time, but technically it was Yokozuna. Big Yoko. Jeez. Yeah, the Rock himself, born in the early 70s, 1972. He's now 41 years old. My favorite wrestler when I was a kid. Even John Cena. Yeah, I know he's not the 90s wrestler. He's, you know, early, mid-2000s when he started coming up. Born in 1977. He's 36 years old. You know, the face, multi-time champion. Brock Lesnar, the guy who beat the streak, born in 1977, he's 36. Now, when he won the championship at the time, he was the youngest at 25 years old. He was only 25 when he became the WWE champion. The youngest, and still is the youngest WWE champion in record. But when he did that, I was only 15 years old. I was only 15. So my point is that all these wrestlers and past stars that were champion, and they were the champions of their era, the defining champs of their era and their generation, and even not too long ago, they've all been older than me. They've all been like, wow, I'm just that kid watching them. And with Paige becoming champ, she's only 21. Jesus Christ. It's just wild. I don't know. Now it's like, I'm definitely too old for this shit. You know what I mean? I'm too old for this wrestling shit. I'll always have a soft spot for it, but it feels like, man, this is the pattern. They're just going to keep getting younger. You know, these champions are going to keep getting younger and younger and younger. And I don't think I want to be a part of that. I don't want to be like, I just don't want to see people younger than me, and then they're like the world champion, the Divas champ, all these different champions, and I'm just like, Jesus. It's like watching kids, you know what I mean? Watching kids become champion, it just feels weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it seems like I'm so insecure with seeing these younger people becoming champion. I guess because they've always been, to me, I felt like the kid when I saw The Rock coming up and Stone Cold and all these other fucking legends. They were grown adults and I was just that young fucking kid watching wrestling. And this goes all the way back. You know, this is not the first time that a pro wrestler made me feel old or made me aware of my age, of getting older. Take you back to 2005. Spike TV started putting on TNA. You know, TNA finally got on Spike, and around late 05, they had this guy named Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal was 19 years old at the time. You know, he was like the youngest guy in the roster of TNA. And I was 18 at that time. So it was like, oh shit, you know, like, that's crazy. Fucking nuts that you have this young dude. A guy that I could have gone to the same high school with. You know, we're sort of like, almost like age peers, if that makes it, like generation-wise. He was a 90s kid like me. 19 years old, I was 18. We could have gone in the same fucking high school. You know, gone to school together and, like, hung out. You know, that kind of thing. It just seems so bizarre. Like, oh shit, like, this guy's really young. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? It seems so... It took away that age barrier, so to speak. That thing that made the fucking wrestling thing special, because they were so much older. Where I was this young kid watching this shit. I don't know, it just took away some of the magic, I guess. So, you know, Jay Lethal's a great wrestler. I don't mean anything negative regarding his skills. He's excellent, and I really... It sucks that, you know, the things that happened to him in TNA and all that stuff. He could have been a great champion, but what are you gonna do? Take a look back at my frickin' YouTube channel. You know, it goes even deeper than that. I mean, I look back in my little YouTube run here, and I've been on this damn site now, as the Review Space 90s Kid Show thing, for 3 years. You know, I think I started in late March 2011, you know what I mean? So, it's not that long ago, and but the age thing really makes me feel fucked up. One of my earliest uploads, one of my earliest videos I have on here is from April 1st, 2011. And, you know, it's not the first video I uploaded, but I deleted some of my even earlier ones from, like, late March. I was still technically 23 when I made those videos, including the April 1st one. You know, I was still 23, going on 24, you know, it's pretty much 24 by mid-April, but it just wasn't that super long ago, you know, it wasn't hyper long ago, and it was so many generations ago in my mind. You know, I can still visualize my time in that era, you know, being in that late March, early April of 2011 mindset. I can still remember the details and things that would be forgotten if it was, you know, 15 or 20 years ago. It just makes me feel old. That's all I want to say. It's fucked up. It's just... I'm getting old for this shit. I'm getting old for this wrestling thing, especially wrestling. And I honestly think I don't even want to watch wrestling anymore, you know? It's like I don't even want to be interested in it anymore, because if I'm older than all these other wrestlers and they're becoming champions and everything, it's just like, damn. I want to see a bunch of kids, my junior basically, like kids like way younger than me, becoming champ and you know, main eventing WrestleMania and shit like that. Like, holy fuck. Because it's just, there's no more magic, I guess. The age gap is no longer there. I'm no longer the kid. I'm the adult watching a bunch of fucking kids. That's bizarre. That's really bizarre.